you're currently ranked at number 2 Bellator weight, yeah?
It'll be number 1 in a second because my last fight, they haven't updated it. But yeah.
Come on, get in. We've got the number 1 in the world right now. Come on, baby. But what I want to say is that through hard work? Or is that a gift or combination of both? Do you think somebody can make it without being gifted?
So it's weird. So I feel like now people see me as gifted, and it feels like, you know, I am different to a lot of the people. You see people coming through the gym and people that have sparred me and stuff, and they're like, man, they've never seen anything like it. But at the same time, it was, as much as it wasn't in my adult years, as a kid, I used to get my ass handed to me for fun. Out of like my siblings, it was my oldest brother and my sister who were the best two. My other older brother, he was better than me at the time, but he didn't care as much to do, like, he did it, but you can kind of see that he did it just to be, in and around it. But I didn't care for it as much, and I kind of, slowly surpassed him. But for me, I was just getting beaten up by my older brother. Used to beat me up. All my I call them older brothers, Simon Lewis, Marvin Francis. They were guys that my dad took under his wing, and they would train with us from young, from like 12 and 15 and whatever, and this grew in the sport. So these are guys that I'd be with around all the time. And even outside, the people I could call, and they were like my older brothers, they'll come down. If I needed help with something, they can come down.
Yes.
And they were all from rough areas as well, because we was in and around Harlesden, Stonebridge, and all those kind of areas where we were doing the classes. So my dad knows a lot of the kind of the negative people, but in a good way, because he used to bring all of them in and teach them.
Yes.
So all of these guys I used to look up to as well, and it's that was my influence. For me that was the best bit about. One of the best bits about is the second family that I created being there. So yeah, for me that's what it is.
Nice. So somebody who's dealing with failure right now, because you could have said, I'm getting beaten up and I'm just gonna stop. What kept you going?
I'd have to say, for me, initially the family ties, because as much as the part that I didn't like was losing, and nobody does. Even as a kid, you understand winning and losing, and just the pain of winning and losing. Everyone, treats it differently, but you just understand it. So I used to go, we'd go 2 hours Birmingham, drive to 3 hours to Manchester, drive to Leeds. Every weekend we had a competition. Literally every weekend we had a competition. My dad was the driver. He'd go pick up everybody. We'd all meet at like Bridge Park. And if anybody struggled to get there, he'd go and get them.
Nice.
And then we'd drive hours up to this competition. I'd get there, get beaten first round, and then have to sit down and just watch everybody else win. On the way back, I got all my siblings, cling, 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 all their medals that they're talking about, all their fights that they've won and this and that. And I'm just like, yeah, great. I'm happy for you, but I got my ass kicked.
Exactly. So what made you
The
keep
journey
going?
Was the enjoyment. Being around my family was still enjoyable regardless of the result at the end. So again, I kind of had a fortunate side of being persistent, because being persistent is difficult. And persevering is very difficult, especially when you're going through the tough times. But I had a better excuse. Either way, I was gonna go to the competition anyway, just because I wanted to be. We used to have fun on the way up, just cracking jokes and like laughing, singing, That was always us. I wanted to be around it, so I wasn't not gonna go anyway. But if I'm gonna travel up there, I might as well compete regardless of my result. And I'm talking for 6-7 years. It was non-stop going up, and every now and again maybe get a third.
Wow.
So that's a lot of time of just getting beaten up.
It's weird. People just see your success.
That's what I'm saying. They always see the end result.
They just see that big mountain at top, but they didn't see all of that hard
Exactly.
work beneath,
Exactly.